What's going on? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. One time for the one time. We grinding. Shout out to the entire LDBC. You know what it is, all right? Talking about Callum Smith potentially fighting David Benavides. I know Callum Smith won the Super WBA belt from George Groves last night. And also, he got the ring belt, which we'll talk about shortly. But he was also the WBC Diamond Champion. Let me explain that situation for a minute. Him and Anthony Durrell, Callum Smith and Anthony Durrell is supposed to fight for the vacant WBC title left behind by Badu Jack after he had a draw with James DeGale, I believe. Anthony Durrell tried to take that fight from, I think, California, Los Angeles. I think it was maybe at the Forum somewhere in California. I think it was Southern California. He tried to take that fight from there to Flint. Eddie Hearn said he had already comped Callum Smith, team and comped his family and friends that was coming to the fight. And they wasn't going, they didn't want to change their reservations to fight in Flint. Then they was trying to get the fight at the same time to be in a World Boxing Super Series tournament. And Durrell didn't want to fight in the tournament. So they just, gave the WBC Diamond belt to Callum Smith. Durrell was ordered to fight David Benavides for the vacant title. He got injured. So Benavides fought Ronald Durrell Garville. But in between all that, since Durrell didn't want to enter the tournament, the WBC made, Smith the Diamond Champion, okay? And now it talks about him being ordered to face David Benavides now, he got caught for cocaine in his system by VADA, and probably gonna get a slap on the wrist since it wasn't a performance enhancement drug, all right? But he got caught for that, okay? And so. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I don't think nothing major going to happen. So they trying to order Callum Smith versus David Benavides. So I like that fight. Both guys about 6'2", Callum Smith about 6'3", 2-inch reach advantage according to BoxRec, 76 inches for David Benavides, 78 inches for Callum Smith. I don't agree with them making Callum Smith the ring belt champion, but I don't really have a problem with it because he did win a tournament. And I was on Cali stream yesterday, I was talking about how you had to get consideration to Smith being on the pound-for-pound list. I disagree. I mean, he didn't fight anybody in that tournament but Groves, and Groves have been beaten a couple times, but Groves was back on his game, looking mean, looking like, the number one super middleweight out there because he was the most proven super middleweight. Remember, Ramirez ain't really did nothing. Gilberto Uztagi, he really ain't did nothing in super middleweight just yet. As far as amongst other young champions, Jesse Hart, he came up short versus Ramirez. DeGale is an afterthought. Badu Jack moved up. Andre Durrell supposed to be going to 75. Anthony Durrell supposed to be fighting Benavides, but it seemed like he really don't want the smoke. And I asked his coach about that. I had an interview up there with Sugar Hill, nephew Emmanuel Stewart, who runs Kronk Gym, all right, in Detroit. What up, though? But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the Benavides and Durrell situation, but I don't have an issue with it, even though Callum Smith fought virtual 2 nobodies in the tournament before fighting Groves. The first guy he kind of struggled with because he had been out the ring for quite some time. The second guy, Yerman Berman, pulled out, who had dominated Rob Brandt with a sickness or illness or whatever happened with him. And then he beat Groves in the championship. I just think with George Groves being on their resume, that's not good enough. It's the only name I know he fought. That's not good enough for you to be a pound-for-pound champion. Or to be the ring belt lineal champion, that's what it represents. I don't think so, okay? That's not enough, but I understand it. Yes, he is the brother of Liam Smith and Paul Smith, I believe, from the UK. But that's how I feel about it, okay? I believe both of these guys are still unproven. David Benavides is still unproven because he only had a fight versus Ronald Durrell Garville. Good amateur, good steady career, but kind of in the same predicament as you are in the welterweight division. You got a lot of champions, but they're not fighting each other. The difference is a lot of these champions are younger, okay? A lot of these champions are younger than or more greener than the welterweight champions, all right? And, yeah. So, if they start fighting each other, you're going to get classics. And a lot of these guys can rematch each other at 175. Okay, that's what you can see, a rematch at 175. So that's very, very interesting as far as Benavides and Gilberto Ramirez. I believe it's a hell of a fight. Okay, I believe both guys are similar in stature and height. Smith got a lot of power. I think he's a better puncher than Well, I think he's a better puncher than David Benavides at this point. I think, Benavides is 21 years old. I think Callum Smith is up there. I don't know, I'm not sure how old Callum Smith is, but but Benavides is still maturing in his body. Benavides is a guy that was over 300 pounds, like 340, 30 pounds as a teenager. So he shaved all that weight down as a teenager. So that's something to look at as well, too. He still walk like a big fella. He still got that bone structure, that body frame like a big fella. Okay? So that's something to look at, all right? But I think styles make fights. I think Benavides is very aggressive. I know Ronald put him down, so he has been on the canvas. And Smith is 28 years old, so he's 7 years. Benavides is senior, so he's more developed physically, I believe, than Benavides. But Benavides, since getting with Alex Ariza, straight beast. You know what I'm saying? I think Benavides might have better hand speed, better combination punching. I think he got a really, really good jab, and I think he's still learning and physically still maturing into his body, and he's probably naturally bigger than Benavides by, at one point being a 300-plus pound teenager. All right, so that's something to look at. It's a very, very good fight. I think this may be the best fight at 168 pounds to be made right now. I know a lot of people want to see Jose Uzitaki. I like him a lot too. But about Uzitaki, I just think in my opinion, I think he may have been a product of a matchup style for Andre Dirrell. Dirrell had been done, okay? I think Uzitaki could beat Ramirez. I think he'd beat anybody, but I would favor Smith, and I would favor David Benavides over Jose Uzitaki. As far as Caleb Plant, I don't know, okay? About him and Uzitaki. I think he can outbox Uzitaki, but can he keep Uzitaki off of him, and can Caleb Plant take it on the jaw? That is the question. But as far as this fight, I think this is the best fight to be made at 168 pounds. I think WBC would love to get that lineal ring belt and that WBA belt on their Mexican champion, David Benavides. And Callum Smith has shown the ability to want to come over to the WBC, to come over to America. He was going to fight Anthony Dirrell for the belt in California. This is a fight that if they really wanted to make, it could be made, all right? If Anthony Dirrell don't want to get the hell up, don't want to get in the ring with David Benavides, you know what? They could bump a couple motherfuckers. They could put this on they could put it on the Wilder card with Fury, or if Gary Russell Santa Cruz want to do the Staples Center again, they could put it on that card. In January, whenever they want to do it. If they want to make that its own card, that'd be a dope double feature, okay? Benavides and Callum Smith and Gary Russell and Leo Santa Cruz. That'd be super dope, okay? And it's depending on what that Wilder card looking like. But I think it's one of the best fights in boxing. Two young champions, two good punchers, and David Benavides is a bad boy. Callum Smith is a bad boy. I mean, what more could you want? Two guys, I think I would say Smith is in his prime. I wouldn't say Benavides is quite in his prime being younger, but let me know what y'all think about this potential fight with David Benavides, WBC champion, ring belt champion, WBC diamond champion, WBA super champion, Callum Smith, brother Liam Smith and Paul Smith, it's the Boxing Clinic and more. Y'all know what the business is. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Shout out to the whole LDBC. If you want to donate, the PayPal link is there as well in the description. We go.